Hey, welcome to another episode of Trash Talk. And Brandon's out looking for Christmas trees.
There's a lot of them back here. I don't know what they're going to do with all these.
I know, and they only got, what, a few days to go. So buy one, get one free. So, but hey, Trash Talk is brought to you by the Patriot Sandwich Company in Denton, Texas. Great shout out to he's wearing the shirt there. Big shout out to David Jordan and to his staff. Great people over there making up absolutely the tastiest sandwiches you've ever had in your life. I mean, the one thing that's really unique about Patriot Sandwich Company is that David and his staff are there every day slicing all of the meats fresh every day. It's not like it's prepackaged, open up the cellophane and take it out and put it on the bread. Man, the bread is fresh baked. All the meat is freshly sliced. All of everything that they put on top of the sandwiches is all fresh. Oh, I'm thinking about it. Go online, patriotsandwichcompany.com. They also have a Facebook page. You'll see pictures of some of the sandwiches. You'll start salivating just looking at the pictures. But tell the folks, hey, tell the folks what's our special for the week.
Hey, this is really cool, especially this time of year when you're trying to save a little money because you're spending so much everywhere else. If you go to Patriot Sandwich Company, you tell them that you heard us on Trash Talk. You heard about them on Trash Talk. You get a free beverage with the purchase of a sandwich. So you instantly have like a combo meal. I mean, you buy a sandwich and you're going to go get a Coke, a Dr. Pepper, or whatever on us.
Yeah, and we ain't talking about this little 8-ounce cup of soda and all. It's like these 24-ounce styrofoam cups and everything that you can just fill yourself up, and you're going to need it to wash down that sandwich because
oh my God,
they're like that too. So thank you very much to David Jordan and to the Patriot Sandwich Company over there in Denton for sponsoring Trash Talk. And hey, we're a few days away from the big guy arriving and leaving all kinds of goodies underneath the trees. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately. That I guess maybe I watched too many mystery movies or conspiracy theories or something. But I've been thinking about this guy Santa Claus lately, and he goes by lots of names, and I'm wondering if he's legit, or is this guy running from something? Is he part of the witness protection program? Because he's Kris Kringle, and he's jolly old Saint Nick. He's Santa Claus. He's got all these different names, and he travels all over the world. And I wonder if he has to get his passport renewed every year, or so. And how does he possibly cover every place in one night?
Well, it's magic. Like I said, I don't question anybody that gives me gifts ever. I take the gifts and I can be bought. That's how it is. But it's got to be magic. The cool thing about Santa Claus is he's got all the help. He's got all those elves. We don't know how many, thousands of them. So I think that he just sends the elves out in waves to put the toys in, and he goes and tackles some houses because he's got to be like 500 years old by now, and he goes and deals with the elves. Actually, my real thing too is you talked about how does he do it? How does he get into those houses? I think he's the guy behind the ring. I really do. So he goes up and he looks at the ring. They recognize it, that it's Santa. The door pops open. Boom, he's in the house. He's out. We have no idea. That's my theory.
I guess he's got to be careful. He's really got to be an artist because he's got to get in there, leave the presents, and get out of there actually almost before the ring stops going off, because the ring will wake up the kids. They'll come running down and Lord knows if you encounter Santa, you're holding him up from his rounds. So he's got to get in and out of there so he can keep on going.
Yeah, you don't want to encounter Santa, and you don't want to miss the toys. You end up on the naughty list, But speaking of naughty list, are you familiar with? I'll say it, Krampus.
Krampus?
Yeah.
No,
No?
what's that all about?
All right, so I'm going to tell you. Leave it to me to find something dark and twisted about Christmas. Um, so Krampus is started over. It's an Eastern European. They think it started in Germany, and he is the anti-Santa. He's the opposite of Santa. He's like a half goat demon creature, and he goes and deals with the bad kids, the naughty kids. So the kids that are on the naughty list who don't get toys get a visit from Krampus. And the legend is that he'll come and beat them with sticks, kidnap them. Sometimes, if they're really naughty, he'll eat them. And this is a big tradition that started in Germany of Krampus, and it starts December 5th. Is the Krampus night, Krampusstock, and he goes out and he looks for naughty kids. So.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have brought that up because there's probably a lot of parents out that are saying, let me see, I could save myself a lot of money if I could get my kid on the Krampus list. Because instead of me having to buy all those toys, somebody else will come over and beat them over the head.
I feel like Krampus isn't doing his job. I've seen some of these kids out here, okay? They could get beat with a stick, but but there's a movie that came out a couple years ago, it's like not a made-for-TV movie, and it's called Krampus, and it's become my new tradition on Halloween or Christmas to watch Krampus. One of my many Christmas movies. So.
Was this produced by Stephen King?
It's actually good. It's got a good story. It's a little creepy, but it's also funny. So they didn't go overboard. I don't know. I've got a Krampus on my Christmas tree, so.
I'm also wondering that a lot of homes are being built without chimneys, without fireplaces, and also does Santa now have to? How does he know what houses to go down the chimney? And have you also wondered that tradition is that he comes down the chimney, leaves all the toys, and he goes back up the chimney? Number one, how does this fat dude get back up the chimney? And, because he's a jolly old guy, and also I can understand how quickly he can come down the chimney, but trying to get back up. I mean, he got a long rope tied to the back of the sleigh, and he yells up to Rudolph to go ahead, start out and get him back up. And also, every time you see Santa, his suit is all nice and clean. He come down my chimney, boy. That dude's going to be going up that chimney in a black suit, not a red one.
Of a black suit and a dead bird next to him.
A few of those.
The thing about Santa too is when we talk about going to see him, one of the traditions, you always take your kids, or when you were a kid, you go see Santa at the mall, at the store, or whatever. And I remember going, to the mall was the number one place I saw Santa, and sitting on his lap. My parents paid for it, obviously, but the pricing of it was not what it is now. I went to go take Luke last year, and he did not like Santa last year. I took him to the Star because it was the cheapest. When I looked at the mall, it was like the minimum was $25, and you had to pick a package of pictures. You couldn't just get one picture. You couldn't just take a picture yourself. $25 for my son to scream on some stranger's lap.
Yeah. Yeah. Now they got a prohibited sign that, no cell phones allowed beyond this point. It's like they got TSA agents or something to prevent you from taking your own pictures of Santa.
Well, they give you a pat down to see if you got a phone on you. And then, and now it's going to be even worse. We made plans to go to the Dallas Arboretum next week or 2 weeks, or maybe tonight. I don't know. And I got to check the tickets. And I better not go after Christmas, but we're going to see Santa. Now, Santa's behind plexiglass this year because of COVID. There's no sitting on his lap. So you're taking the picture next to him behind plexiglass. I feel like I'm visiting Santa in the clink or something, like he's in jail.
Yeah. And then what you just said is now you used to just go to the mall and Santa the kid would sit on the Santa's lap. They'd take a Polaroid and give you the picture, whatever. And now it's money, 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 money. You just said, take them to the Arboretum. You got to buy tickets to get in to see Santa. And then
that was cheaper.
Buy package A, B, or C of photos. So by the time you leave, you got no money for presents.
I know, and the Arboretum was cheaper than the mall.
Is it?
So, yeah, that's why I thought we could make a thing out of it. It's outside, they decorate it. I mean, yeah, it's in Dallas, it's a little far, but I was like, well, at least we got something to entertain ourselves as opposed to going to mall and spending $30 and it's horrible. But, that's part of Christmas. It's one of those traditions,
Yeah. The other question I had was, maybe it's just the mathematician in me, but when you add up all of the places that he has to stop in one night, I mean, we're talking literally billions. How can he possibly carry all those presents in that small sleigh? I envision these great big Air Force transport planes that are flying up there with extra presents. And when he empties his sled, then he just pulls up behind one of these transports and they have a chute that comes down and refills the back of his sled and off he goes. And the transport goes to the next, transfer place.
It's like a drop shipment, I mean, maybe he doesn't have that many this year because of Amazon. Maybe he's in cahoots with Amazon.
That could be. Maybe they're going to paint all the Amazon trucks red.
I mean, he's not sending it through regular mail because it never get there. So he's definitely. No, but you remember as a kid, like when you think about, I know we're talking about Santa tradition and stuff. What was one of the things you remember that like stands out to this day that when you think of Christmas, besides the obvious, what is Christmas to you? Is it a piece of food? Is it candy? Is it a song? Or I don't know. I just think about those,
Well, number one, I think it was snow. You always wanted to have some snow on Christmas, especially if you got a pair of ice skates for Christmas. You go outside and there was no ice to skate on. I mean, that was a real bummer because now you'd have to wait until January or February until there was enough ice on the ground to go skating. and the other thing was that you didn't really want to open any packages that didn't rattle.
Right.
It had a rattle to it because then you knew it was like something that you put together. It was a toy or whatever. Otherwise, it was a shirt or a sweater or something. And that was from Aunt Nellie, and you didn't care about that one.
Yeah, and probably a shirt you're never gonna wear.
That's right. And Dad always got ties, even though he never really wore the ties.
I think for me, there's so many, but one I remember the most is going to my grandma and papa's house. We had a pretty large family and a lot of kids. And I remember going in the basement and looking at the Christmas tree and seeing the presents just lined up on the wall, all nice and neat and wrapped. I mean, they weren't all for me, but it was just such an image. And then we would eat dinner and it was a big dinner, obviously. And the kids are just staring at those gifts. And then we go around and start opening them. I mean, and we had, again, a large family. So I would get one and then we'd have to wait and go around the entire family to get the next one. And I remember my grandma,
a batting order.
Yeah, like a batting order. And I remember her getting really worried. She would be like, now I know that's small, but we spent the same money on and everything. Like she was so upset because some gifts were bigger than others. She thought we'd get mad and nobody cared, it was my grandma and papa just loving it. And my papa would always hold the trash bag and it just all these, that's what I remember. And it's different now because obviously they're not here. And those traditions have kind of fallen by the wayside because everybody's spread across the country. But I'll never forget that. And I hope for Luke that I can be able to kind of replicate that,
Well, and I always wondered about because there's kind of a new modern tradition that you can open one gift of your choice or something the night before Christmas.
Yeah.
And
I don't do that.
Great tradition, but what I want to know is how did that gift get there? if Santa doesn't come until late Christmas Eve and all, how come you're opening a present the night before?
So how I do it is, Santa only has a couple gifts, one or two. That's it. The rest are from me or whoever, because
Oh,
Santa's got a lot of He's got a lot of kids. He can't. He's not loaded. He's not. He
yes,
doesn't own Amazon. So
yes. Here's the agenda for Christmas. And it's number one, you're allowed to open a gift because that's from the family, not the ones from Santa haven't arrived yet.
Haven't got there yet. Yeah. But I don't even. I think the only thing I do is give out pajamas, Christmas pajamas, and I didn't even start that actually. My ex-wife did that, but she started that. But I like that tradition. I think it's cool. I'm glad that she did that. So I'll do that. We all get Christmas pajamas, and look goofy, and that's what we do. But I won't give Luke a Christmas present the day before or Christmas Eve. That kid gets too much anyway. So.
Now, did you when you were young, did you always leave milk and a plate of cookies or something out for Santa?
Yeah, milk and cookies, or milk and a cookie or two, or a brownie. And I left a carrot for the reindeer, for one of them. I guess
For one of them?
Yeah, I guess there was only one reindeer that got to eat. Probably Rudolph. He's got to.
Boy, that's got to be a scene up on the roof with 8 reindeer fighting over 1 carrot.
I still do that. I still leave if Luke wasn't around, I'd still leave cookies out. I just, and then I don't know. It's, I don't know. Call me crazy.
Yes. And I always wondered that if Santa and the reindeer, park up on top of everybody's roof, how come there's never any reindeer poop or something that's left over on anybody's roof?
It disappears. It evaporates the minute it hits the ground. Boom.
Does it?
It's so good. It's so good for the environment. It evaporates.
Or do they poop when they're in midair?
Impossible. I think they hold their poop to either the naughty kid's house or maybe a bad neighborhood.
Yeah. Hey, drop it over on that house because Krampus is going there.
Yeah, that's how they mark the houses for Krampus.
That's it. Yeah, Krampus, stop at the house and have poop on the roof.
Oh, there's reindeer crap. I'm right over there. What about music? Are you a big Christmas music guy, or do you like it, or?
To a degree, I always used to, because they used to play it for like a week before Christmas, or sometimes 2 weeks before Christmas. Now they start after Halloween, playing the Christmas music.
Yeah, I can't do that. I'm not that guy.
You got a favorite Christmas tune?
I got a couple. I mean, a lot of them, like a lot of the other Christmas movies, are kind of cheesy, but I love the old school stuff. I'm a big Sinatra fan, so listening to Frank and Dean and all those guys, some of my favorites. Really, one of my favorites though is David Bowie and Bing Crosby, when they do it, Little Drummer Boy. I think that's one of the coolest, awesome collaborations that I've ever heard. I love that song.
Yeah, I think I go back to Nat King Cole, Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire.
Absolutely.
I mean, that one still gets me. And have you ever had chestnuts roasting on an open fire?
No, I have you?
I mean, sold millions and millions of records, but nobody's ever had a roasted chestnut.
I've never had a chestnut.
No, I did, because they do sell them in little bags on the streets of New York.
Oh yeah.
I've been in New York around Christmas time when I was
nice,
and you can actually buy roasted chestnuts. They don't have a lot of flavor. You're usually going to burn your tongue on a couple.
It sounds horrible.
But yeah, you got to crack them open like pistachio nuts to get to the warm nut on the inside.
Now, I bought some for decoration, and they were at my grandma and papa's house. They'd have a platter, and they were decorated, and I don't know if anybody ate them. I didn't eat them.
Now, as we got older, and this is kind of on the side, but we still leave cookies and milk and everything for Santa, and I mean, I can't imagine that Santa can eat all those cookies and drink all that milk. because again, he would never be able to fit into the sleigh. But that puts the onus on mom and dad, and all. So you better believe that if the cookies that are on that plate are going to be my favorite cookies.
Oh, absolutely. I know what I'm doing. But, here's the other side of that. Maybe he takes them to the reindeer. So the one carrot is okay because the rest of the reindeer and elves get to eat all the sugar.
Yeah. Dasher and Dancer probably say, "Shit, you have the carrot. I'm going to have these nice, oatmeal raisin cookies over here. These look a little more palatable."
Exactly. So what about movies? What do you watch? Any particular movie or movies this time of year?
I don't know if you can get away without watching It's a Wonderful Life, because that's usually on like multiple channels at the same time. Mine going back and maybe even today still is Miracle on 34th Street.
That's a good one.
I still like that with for his first name, but the last name was Gwyn, was the actor that played Santa Claus, and
Yeah.
very convincing. Miracle on 34th Street was a good one.
That's a great movie, and it's got such a good story, behind it, meaning, and it's a great movie. I watched that. I watched some of the classics like that. For me, some of the what I consider, modern classics. I watch, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Home Alone, and then I hate to admit this, my sappy movie, which I think is really just a guy's chick flick, is Love Actually. I watched
Love
Love
Actually?
I probably watched it like 5 times by myself with a glass of wine and hope that nobody's watching.
And then there's Elf.
I love Elf. Yeah.
Also just a good feel-good movie.
Well, and then me and my buddy Ken from Michigan, we used to do Creepy Christmas, and
Creepy Christmas?
We'd watch the creepy Christmas movies like Nightmare Before Christmas or Gremlins. There's a movie called Black Christmas, and obviously Krampus. We would watch those and have our creepy Christmas, still fitting in that spooky vibe,
You're going to still find a way to make it Halloween all year long.
I'm just stretching it.
That's right. I'm waiting to hear your take on Valentine's Day.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about that.
For the St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Absolutely. And there's a movie called My Bloody Valentine. But anyway.
We'll get into that one in February. Well, a couple of days away. It's all it is. So, number one, if you haven't bought everything on your list, you better get out there, because one, you ain't going to be able to order it online and get it delivered in time.
No.
So you're going to have to go to the store and buy pretty much whatever is left on the shelf. And then, of course, the day after Christmas is when everybody goes out to buy wrapping paper and decorations.
Yeah, I never get to do that, but I should. It's such a great deal. My dad does that. So.
Yeah, because that's when it's like 75% off.
Yeah.
So something like buying your Halloween candy the day after Halloween.
Absolutely.
Well, we certainly wish a happy holiday to everybody who tunes in every week to Trash Talk. We thank you very much. Again, we thank our friends over at the Patriot Sandwich Company for sponsoring the show. Remember, when you go in, ask for, tell them that you heard about it on Trash Talk, and you'll get your free drink with your sandwich.
Absolutely.
Hey, Merry Christmas. Have a great time. And we'll
be safe, guys.
Next week, same time, same station. Bye.